welcome to my self-traction techniques video. In this video, I'm going to show you a whole variety of self-traction techniques that you can do yourself on a variety of surfaces and things in your house. First and foremost, you should be cleared by a physician to do this, and nothing should hurt. So lumbar traction or decompression is a really small, it's a stretch and a decompression and separation, just very small, of the vertebrae in your spine. Lumbar is the low back. So that's what we're going to focus on today. What you should feel, again, is no pain. You should go to the point of where it feels like there's this stretchy feeling in your low back and that a little decompression. If you have pain, the pain should be less, okay? But it should feel good. And that's the most important thing to remember. So what we're going to do is start on our backs, knees bent, feet flat. Okay, so I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to use the heel of my hand first. I'm going to put it in the crease of my hips. I'm going to place the rest of my hand on my thigh, and I'm going to push, just kind of straight elbows, my thigh, my legs away from my torso and my trunk, kind of splitting my body in half in a sense, halfway right around here. So that's where I'm getting that decompression. My muscles and my triceps are working. My arm muscles are the main ones working. All my other muscles in my body should be relaxed, okay? So pushing until you feel a good stretch, decompression, no pain. I'm holding for 10 seconds to 2 minutes even. You can release it fully, or you can push all the way and then release about halfway with each release, and then push again for 10 seconds if you want, 30 seconds if that feels good, and release halfway. Okay, so again, you're pushing the thighs and legs away from the torso and the trunk. Another grip is with your hands like this in a C shape. So I'm grabbing my thigh with my whole hand like that, and I feel a little bit more force and decompression when I do that. It's just changing my muscles, my arms muscles that I'm using. Basically, I get a little bit more force with that one. Okay, so you could try this one, hands like this, or this. Okay, whichever one works. Next, you can use the dowel. So it's stick, golf club, broomstick, whatever works. You're going to put this in the crease of the hips. I'm placing it kind of right on top of my pubic bone. Again, so I'm going to push with both hands on the stick on either side of my legs. I'm pushing my legs and hips away from my low back. What this does is changes really the muscles in the arms that are being used to get that force and decompression. So I feel it, and I feel it gets more of you're using more pecs and chest muscles essentially when you use this stick a little bit. You're still getting the triceps, but it's just a little bit, I think it gives you a biomechanical advantage. I think it's a little easier, but it's worth a try to see which one works better for you. So I'm pushing until I feel it. Nice decompression, and then relax. Those same ones, but with a ball can help place your back in a little bit more relaxed position. So I'm going to put my hands in that same position on my legs, the heel of the hand on my crease of my hips, and front of my hips. I'm going to push my thigh, my leg, and now pretty much the ball essentially away. And relax and push. So really what this does is just allows the back maybe to be a little bit more relaxed. It changes the position of the spine a little bit. So depending on what you need, this might work better. It might not work as well for you as the other ones. You can try this other grip again, where you're cupping that C position of the hand, pushing the hips away. can do this one with the dowel. Push. We're gonna reach our arms to the top of like the table or the couch or your bed. And what I'm doing is now I'm using my biceps. So again, all arms are working, the rest of my body's relaxed. But I'm pulling myself up the bed so the direction is this way while I'm anchored to the ground by my legs and hips. So therefore, while I'm pulling myself up and anchored down here, I create a little bit of stretch on my low back. Okay. You can do this with the knees bent, or if it feels better with legs straight, you could do it with the legs straight. Bend the elbows. You're like pulling, like my head's gonna slide up the bed almost, okay? I'm anchored down in this with my butt, okay? So the next one I'm gonna show you is the over the counter, over the table stretch, decompression stretch. So a lot of times I tell people to use like a table or an island counter or any kind of counter. So usually those are a little taller. This is a little short. My hips are like way higher than there. So I have to bend my knees a little bit more for this one, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But you might be a person that, like, if you can find a little higher up surface, that might be easier to achieve this. I'm gonna put a pillow underneath my belly. I'm trying to get my hips as close to the table as possible. I'm gonna straighten my elbows and anchor onto the table. Okay. Now, so my arms are anchored. Now, I'm gonna bend my knees and lift my heels up and let my butt sink towards the ground. And that's where I get that split in half decompression traction. This can be a favorite because not as many muscles need to be used to achieve it. Straighten the legs and kind of come out of that. The arms are being used, right, to anchor, but otherwise we let gravity do the work with this one, which is really nice. So I'm bending my knees until I feel that good traction stretch, relaxing your head. You could try a second pillow as well. I'll show you this next one on the actual couch. So I'm gonna put my hip bones against the couch here. I'm gonna anchor first with my arms. So my elbows are straight. Okay, so I'm trying to reach as far as I can. That's where you kind of get initial traction there and decompression of the spine. Anchoring my hands to the cushion, so both hands are grabbed on. Then I'm separating in two from my legs here as I anchored with my arms. I lift my heels up, so heels and then bend my knees. Or you can bend the knees and lift the heels, either way. So as I do that, my body kind of sinks towards the ground a little bit. I can relax my head. Okay, allowing that stretch, 10 seconds to 2 minutes. You come out of that stretch by bending the knee, or straightening the knees. And then bend the knees, lift the heels, let the butt kind of sink towards the ground a little bit. Rest the head. So the only muscles working are my hands to hold onto the cushion a little bit and anchor myself. And then I'm just bending and straightening my knees, really. You should try to relax through the whole thing, just like all of them. If there's any pain, you stop. Okay, so, but as I bend the knees, lift the heels, let my bottom sink away from my low back, separate in two, I feel that decompression. So, I'm going to grab onto the top of the couch. My elbows and arms or my biceps are doing the work here. So I'm pulling myself this way up the bed. Okay, my knees are bent, but I can actually straighten them too. I could try both ways and see where I get a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, so bending the elbows, pulling yourself this way. This one is with the exercise ball. I have like a little bit of a larger one. I'm placing my hips and my belly on the ball. I'm gonna tuck my toes underneath me, round over the ball. My hands are on the ground. Now it's kind of like I'm dragging my feet on the floor as I round forward and my head actually touches the ground. But you can kind of roll back and forth till you find that spot where you get a little bit of that pull and separation and stretch. Again, just like all of these, it may be one that works for you. It may be one that you don't get a lot from. I find if I roll forward a little bit more, really my head just basically touching the ground, and then I let the tops of my toes drag on the floor, that's where I get the stretch for me. I do think the size of the ball does make a difference, so a little larger ball than what you normally would use, but you can kind of try what you have if that works for you. The next one is finding a sturdy door that fits your weight or can accept your weight. I'm going to reach up to the top of the door, grab hold, anchor my arms, bend my knees, lift my heels, so I'm hanging a little bit from the door, getting a little bit of that stretch. This one, again, is going to be a lot of upper body strength. May not be for everybody. Okay, so this one is not for everybody. You have to have a little bit of arm strength for this one. Put your hands on the chair rest. Go ahead and press up, and you're letting your butt sink down. So upper body and trunks going this way, legs and butt are going this way, and that's how we achieve that separation, okay, and that stretch in that low back. I'm pressing up until I feel that stretch. I'm letting gravity pull my butt down. I'm getting an arm workout, holding it for 10 seconds, to 20 seconds, to 30 seconds, up to 2 minutes if your upper body can do that. You can let that release all the way, or you can just release it halfway and then press up again. For 20 seconds or so, let it release halfway and press up again. Again, that's going to be a little bit more on the arm strength.